Hi, fellow traders. Well, we have made it through the first week of earnings. Did not get what I was looking for, but that's the problem. I was looking for it. Instead of just waiting and letting the market do what it's going to do and me react to it, I think that hurt me in terms of being more efficient, but it's only natural. It's a natural thing, but I was able to recognize it and keep it from really digging me into a hole. So I'm pretty pleased with that. We only went through about 6% of the S&P 500. Most of these were banks, financials, and glad to get those out the way first. I don't typically trade those, but I felt that we would still get the volatility. A lot of people do trade the banks, the financial stocks. We just didn't get it. Now you had to be in the right place at the right time on a lot of these, and that's just a normal day. That's why we scan, that's why we have scanners so that we can find the plays that fit our parameters and that we won't miss out on too many of them. But in this time, it's real easy because they're few and far between. But I managed my risk. I didn't lose my cool when I kind of messed up or missed out on something. Today, I missed out on Roku. I got a lot of emails, a lot of text messages. Say, I know you killed Roku today. I know you killed Roku. No, I missed it. I did not put Roku on my list, even though it was on my scan. I did not feel, looking at it pre-market, that it had big move potential in it today. It didn't really have a catalyst. It's just been moving without a catalyst, piggybacking off other stuff. So I just made the decision not to watch it, and I didn't even have a chart up. So I completely missed it. I was stuck in another trade, which prevented me from even taking this. And I wasn't going to get into the habit or show you guys that so that you could get into this habit of killing one trade and running and jumping in another. Oftentimes that does not work. And it creates even more bad habits. So didn't want to go that route. All right, so let's quickly look at today. GPS was on our watch, but you could see never broke the pre-market low. So that was a no-go. You see how close it was. So whenever it broke the opening range low, it was just not enough room. Not enough room for this. Same thing with M. Never got through the pre-market low. The pre-market low was too close to get in on a 5-minute opening range break. Here, I know it looks a long way, but this is 1517. This is 1493. Not enough. Even with 500 shares, that was not enough room. I needed more. So M didn't really set up. And here's the big miss on Roku, guys. This was huge. Trend continuation trade right here. Could have got in right below the low here. Nice move down. Here's the bounce. Bear flag. Beautiful bear pennant. Exactly what we went over this week. This is directly from the class that we did. Just the fundamentals, the foundation on this. This is absolutely beautiful. And this would have paid, beautifully. 135, well, let's say 134 if we got in. Almost a 10-point move. And I just missed it. It happens. There's no way to predict that a move like this is going to happen. And there were a couple of moves. There was another move today you're going to see in a minute. No way I could predict that was going to happen, that we were going to get a move like that. But again, had I not been in the trade, definitely would have jumped on this. but I was in a trade, so I couldn't do it. So LB was on my watch too. This was the one that I took for opening range breakdown because first 5-minute candle, we broke below the pre-market low. The next level we had was right here at 1657 that I did not see on this chart. This chart was kind of closed up, and that's the bad thing about these DOS charts. If I don't glance over to my Thinkorswim chart, I may miss a level or two if the price action is really close to the bottom, and I missed this. But I still would have gotten in as soon as it broke this level. So either way, I would have gotten in. Either way, this trade triggered. The next level down was the 52-week low, which was 1582. That was the next level down. I mean, beautiful trade, beautiful range, or beautiful trade potential, beautiful range. Everything was just A+ about this setup. It just didn't work. So this is a classic case of an opening range trade that triggered. It set up, it triggered, it just didn't work. So managed our risk, stopped out on this. Probably could have stopped out on this candle, but I gave it a little bit of room. Since I had the ability to give it a little bit of room, I did. Didn't really work out, so we killed it. You can see I got in at 1665, got out at 1681. You can see we had plenty of room, but it broke trend, so I had to get out. Even though this thing came back, it never worked. It never got to the level I wanted it to get to. So, didn't do well on this. GIL, this was on my watch as well. We had several of these, M, LB, GIS, GPS. All of these were analyst downgrades. And they typically trade like earnings misses or stocks that have bad guidance after earnings. So I felt we had a good opportunity to make some money on this. And this one was a beautiful opening range breakout. A perfect breakout. Here's the first 5-minute candle. I should have marked this, but here's the high. Break over the high. Real nice move. I mean, really nice move, but I missed it. So I waited and I got the secondary move. Okay, guys, see, this is just what we covered on Wednesday. This secondary hit. Got it. Got up to the 50, which was a nice lick. So we got in at 26.84, 27.61. Really nice hit. This was at 75 or 70. So I took it at 61 just to make sure. But this came back, stopped us out, and ended up coming back up. So once we broke the 50, I got back in again and looking for the move up here. Just didn't make it. It failed, and I eventually stopped out here. Really could have stopped out up here, but ended up killing it here, and then tried to flip it short because I figured we were coming back to VWAP, and there was enough room between here and VWAP to take profit. That was a good. I know it looks close, but if you look at the numbers, it's pretty good. So I got filled over a couple of minutes. Let's see, I got short here at, I sold it here, then I got short here, and it was on short sell restrictions, so I couldn't do the smooth transition. I had to get it filled on an uptick, and I kind of had to chase it down a little bit trying to get it on an uptick. So I got a partial fill first, and then it eventually filled the whole thing. And you could see 26.60. That's not a bad lick from when I got in to where VWAP was, which is ideal. I was looking for it to sell through. It tried, but then it got held up, failed again. Here we came down. No price action. Essentially, this thing traded sideways for a long time. So I just killed it here, took the little bit of profit that we had. Got out at 26.60, right where we got out here. And you would think that was it. We're late in the day. We're after 2:30. This just flattened out. It looks like it's trying to just trade between the VWAP and the 50 here the rest of the day. But no. Look at what happened here. I'm sorry, I don't have the trades on here because I had to switch computers. That's why the chart maybe look a little different for some of the other charts, because I had to switch computers and I just used the charting from my swing account. Since it's DOS anyway, all the same. I think these are going to be in different places, but all the same information. But around here is where I got out, and you can see what happened. It ran right into the 100. You can't predict this. There was no way to predict this explosive move. Even if I wanted to get in here, and I thought about trying to get in here, but I'm like, look at this price action. Do you really think this is going to rip? But damn if it didn't rip. I guess I should have been listening to the market again and not using my very small brain. But this was really nice. Could have ended the day with probably $300 to the good. But ended the day minus $1. After everything is said and done, I ended the day red $1. All of that work, and I end up with -1. But that's fine. We'll pick up this week and keep on trucking. You can see 3 red days this week. I guess you can call this a push, because when my rebate kicks in, I'll probably be green a couple of dollars, but I don't count the rebate. I just count what I'm charged straight up, because that's what most people are charged anyway. So this is, Monday we started out red. Great day on Tuesday. Wednesday I came in with the wrong attitude, the wrong mindset, and put myself in a hole. Almost came out of it, but ended up red, 56.91. Yesterday halfway decent, 161.50. Today minus $1. So really another really slow week. I can swallow it, because most of the earnings were stocks that I wouldn't trade anyway. So I was just looking for volatility and getting some of these other stocks moving that I could trade. But that just didn't happen. So only 220.66. The stocks in my wheelhouse are coming up. And the problem we're going to have is having too many to choose. So it's going to be real important to listen to me go through my process and how I pick and choose the stocks. There's no doubt that these stocks move. When it gets to choosing the right one, you just have to go with your gut, what you feel, what's looking the best in your eyes. And sometimes it may not be the one. And that's why we could stop it and then go and jump on some trend continuation, just like what we did today. Opening range didn't work, trend continuation hit, and we nailed that. Now the stock just flatlined. Now had we moved over to Roku, if I had put it on my watch and we looked for trend continuation there, we would have had a really good day. But that's the way it is. That's just the way it is. We can't let that eat away at us no matter how much we want it to. I'm glad it's Friday so I can get it out of my mind before we start trading again. But this is what we got to do. So for the month, not even $600. Now I'm really counting this as 2 weeks. But I know we're 3 weeks in because we couldn't trade most of this week because of SureTrader, you remember. So yeah, we just slow. I got 2 weeks to get this thing right, this ship righted. I mean, I don't have a monthly goal, but in a $2,500 account, I would expect to double it every month. I would expect to double it. If I start with 2,500, I would expect to double it. So I'm really off from what I would normally expect to happen. It's not a goal. I'm not going to be focused on trying to hit that. I'm just going to be focused on maximizing every day. One day at a time, one trade at a time. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. And making sure that I'm not trading loose. I'm not having unrealistic expectations. That we're nailing the trade. We're trading the setups. And we are maximizing the efficiency of those setups. So we can maximize our profit. If you learn how to do that in a small account, man, when you got money on the line, big money, and you're maximizing the efficiency of these trades, and you're not just taking quick hits here, a quick hit there, you'd be surprised how much money you can make. That's why a lot of people just trade the morning session. And after 1 o'clock, they're done. I mean, that's just what they do. But they're able to maximize the efficiency of their setups. Their morning setups, their afternoon setups, and they're done. All right, so here's the equity curve. We're going to continue the running one, and then I'm doing one just for this quarter with this account. So we've been at 31 grand for the last 6 weeks. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, for the last 6 weeks. Hopefully I'll see 32 at the end of next week. I'm planning to see that. I've been at 31 forever. So we are slowly but surely creeping up. You can see all of these slow weeks we had with the market. The market is still in the cycle where we're not going to see volatility. I'm expecting it to break out of it, but we'll talk more about that on Sunday when we do our market analysis. So you guys don't miss that. Don't forget about it. It's part of your membership. It's part of it. Come in on Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock, and we're there doing the market analysis. Yeah, I build my swing trade watch list during that time, but I take all questions, any and all questions. So that's a whole nother session that everybody gets right there. So take advantage of it if you can. So really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. We're not going down, and that's a key. That's key. All right, so now we're just starting this. We're 3 weeks in. We're just starting the equity curve on this account, and we're doing it just for the fourth quarter. And you can see how we're starting. We started with a $69 a week. We moved it up to, we got 288, and then this week 220. So we pulled in a bit. I'm still, let me stop. I'm not going to keep going on about it. But we're at 579.19 for the month. Now, I admit I did start with a little bit more than 2,500 because I can't add, of course. But It wasn't much, and I wasn't gonna use. I never max out my buying power, so that I usually use about 80 to 85% of my buying power. So we got 579, 19. So we've grown our account in these 3 weeks 23%. Where in the hell are you going to gain 23% on your money in 3 weeks? Legally. Let me change that. Legally. Where are you going to do it legally? The market is the only place that I know of. Now, yeah, you could probably do it in Vegas if you're a career gambler. You might be able to, but I think you have a lot better odds in the market than you do in Vegas. And it's just a matter of, and you see it, being disciplined. Don't, just because you have a good trade here, don't try to keep squeezing blood out of a turnip if it's not there and giving that money back. I had a couple people over these last couple weeks take one trade a day and shut it down. Whether it's opening range trade, if it's not there, trend continuation, you take it. And most of them choose trend continuation because it's longer and they can add back in and it'll still be the same trade. They were getting over on me a little bit, but that's the idea. But it's trend continuation trades, and all five that I've been mentoring, that I got them on this, and I talked them into just doing this one trade. This is the first week that they have been green. Every last one of them are green, and they're ecstatic. And it's just stop over trading. And we'll talk a little bit about over trading and all of that. I'm putting together a little presentation for that. But all they did was stop that. They stopped it and took one trade a day, and they ended the week green. If they do it the rest of the month, they're going to end this month green. First time ever. Some of them have been trading over 2 years or trying to trade over 2 years. Guys, this roadmap works. It works. You just got to have the discipline to trust in it and go through the process. That's all you have to do. Trust in it and go through the process. So that's going to do it for me today. This week, wrapping up this week. I may come out with that class this weekend. It depends. We may not get to do the activities because that storm is heading our way. But either way, I'll be here be here Sunday morning. And if I have to get that class out next week, I'll do that. But you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe. And I will see you Monday morning.